Let's discuss the key aspects you need to look for in a 2-ton AC. I've made very detailed AC videos for 1.5 and 1-ton ACs, which I've linked over here. Towards the end, I'll share my recommendations for the best 2-ton ACs after comparing over 30 2-ton ACs in the market today. Firstly, as much as possible, look for a 2026 model. With the ISEER rating period change, 2026 model ACs are at least 10% more energy efficient than the previous rating period. Only the ACs that you see on the screen are 2026 model ACs. In addition, a 5-star AC in the previous period will be a 4-star AC in the current period and a 3-star AC in the next period. So if your usage is high, better to go for the latest 2026 models for better efficiency. Speaking about star rating, my research shows that a majority of 2-ton ACs have the best cooling performance at 3-star. For example, a Panasonic 2-ton 5-star AC has a lower cooling capacity than a 2-ton 3-star AC. Similarly for other brands too. In addition, at this high capacity, there are fewer 5-star rated ACs. So majority of my 2-ton AC recommendations will be 3-star ACs to optimize for cooling. Second, most 2-ton ACs are not really 2-ton. They are at most 1.8 ton, except a handful. To be really considered a 2-ton AC, it must have a cooling capacity of 3.17 into 2, which is 7 kilowatt. Most 2-ton ACs have a cooling capacity of only 6 to 6.5 kilowatt, making them less than 2-ton. While 6 to 7 kilowatt is considered an acceptable range for 2-ton ACs, higher is always better. On the screen, you can see ACs classified by their real tonnage, not their advertised tonnage. Third, 2-ton ACs are ideal if you have a large room of about 400 square feet or 20 by 20 feet. For rooms of that size, you will be pushing the 2-ton AC to its limit. Since the real tonnage of most 2-ton ACs is 1.7 to 1.8 ton, consider limiting the room size to about 300 to 350 square feet. If you have the ability and budget to install 2 ACs, I recommend going with 2 1.5 ton ACs instead for uniform and faster cooling. If you have a really long room as opposed to a squarish room, again 2 1.5 ton ACs would give you better cooling than 1 2-ton AC. Next are the outdoor units. The outdoor units of 2-ton ACs are large. On the screen, you can see a comparison in size of the outdoor units of 1-ton, 1.5 ton and 2-ton ACs from the same brand for consistency. So factor that into your planning when you're buying a 2-ton AC. Most ACs these days come with copper condensers, which are more durable, have faster cooling and about 15% higher energy efficiency compared to aluminium. Next, anti-corrosion coating is applied over the copper condenser to extend the life of the coils and prevent it from being affected by high humidity, salts and corrosive gases. Almost all ACs these days do come with anti-corrosion coating, no difference over there. Lastly, the ambient temperature that it supports. If you stay in areas with higher temperatures, better to go with ACs that support upwards of 55 degrees Celsius ambient temperature. Now I keep getting questions about the frequency of gas refills in AC. You should know that current ACs do not need a refill during their typical lifespan, which is around 10 to 15 years, unless there is a leak. This is because an AC operates on a closed loop system and recirculates the same gas to absorb and release the heat. It does not evaporate or get used up over time. So how do you know if you have a leak? If you see spikes in electricity bills or lower cooling or hissing sound from your AC, then you likely have a leak. Make sure the technician fixes the leak before refilling the gas. Lastly, let's talk about the value-added capabilities in ACs. Having smart home capabilities helps to turn on or off the AC remotely using the app, control the temperature, understand power utilization and so on. Most brands have models with and without smart home capabilities. The ones with it are more expensive. Auto clean, humidity control and filters are available in all ACs these days. No differentiation there. ACs have only some level of purification with the use of PM 2.5 filters. But to purify the air, it's better to get an air purifier instead. Or there are some alternatives these days for attaching a HEPA filter externally to ACs. All ACs these days support stabilizer-free operations when the voltage is between 110 to 285 voltage range. If you stay in an area where there are frequent power cuts or power fluctuation, it is always better to get a stabilizer to protect your PCB, which can be expensive to replace. If you have a fairly stable input power, then a stabilizer is not required. Installation for ACs have an extra charge between 700 to 1500 rupees to be paid to the installation engineer, so factor that into your budget. They will also charge extra if you need additional copper piping if the outdoor unit is beyond 3 meters. And mounting brackets, core cutting, uninstalling of old ACs are all extra if you actually need it. Warranty in general is 1 year with 10 years warranty on the inverter compressor, with the exception of Godrej, ISEER, Media and Samsung, which give a 5-year comprehensive warranty on the product including the PCB. After doing a sentiment analysis of thousands of AC reviews, as expected, many budget brands use third-party networks for service in non-tier 1 cities, so you can expect delays in installation and service. Most of the brands in the decent row have good product satisfaction but very average service satisfaction. I'm keeping an eye on Voltas as I have seen a higher number of complaints recently with the service experience with Voltas. So, now that you understand all the key aspects to look for in a 2-ton AC, let's get to my recommendations that I came up with after analyzing over 30 2-ton ACs available in the market today. A common question comes up about Mitsubishi Electric and O General. Now, these are heavy-duty ACs which are priced significantly higher than other ACs in the market, almost double. If budget is not a concern and you're looking for a heavy-duty AC, you should go with one of these brands only. So, let's start with ACs which give an almost real 2-ton cooling capacity. So here I have 2 recommendations for you. First is the Daikin 2.2-ton 4-star 2025 AC. Strangely, Daikin typically launches their annual ACs later than most of the other brands. But when their 2026 model is available, it will have better efficiency with similar cooling capacity, and hence it features high on my recommendation list. While most other ACs max out at 1.8 ton of real cooling capacity, this AC is a real 2-ton capacity. One of the best. It has a heavy-duty fan that projects air up to 22 meters, cooling every corner of the room. In the 2026 BE rating, this particular AC is 1 star lower, that is 3 star only. Remember, Daikin spare parts are more expensive than most other brands. Also note that the outdoor unit is quite big and heavy as expected from a 2-ton AC. My next recommendation is the Panasonic 2-ton 3-star 2026 model AC. I recommend the 3-star model and not the 5-star model as it has much lower cooling capacity. This AC has one of the highest cooling capacities amongst the ACs rated as 2-ton, with a real cooling capacity of 1.9 ton or 6700 watts. The AC is a 8-in-1 convertible which can help to throttle capacity based on the number of people in the room. Alternatively, the sensors automatically adjust cooling based on the room's heat load. This is a Wi-Fi AC which integrates into the Apple HomeKit, Google Home and Alexa. The stabilizer-free range of Panasonic is quite wide, 100 volts to 290 volts. It can handle fluctuations without stabilizers. The only complaint I hear about this AC is the outdoor unit is louder than similar ACs from other brands. So be aware of that before purchasing. Next are ACs which have about 1.7 to 1.8 real tonnage. First is the Hitachi 2-ton 3-star 2026 model AC. This AC has a cooling capacity of 6340 watts or 1.8 tons. So it is suitable for rooms up to 300 to 350 square feet only. Hitachi is well known for the reliability of its compressors and for rapid cooling. But their after-sales service recently has seen an increase in complaints regarding delayed spare parts and untrained service professionals. So ensure serviceability in your area before you purchase this AC. Next is the Samsung 2-ton 3-star Windfree 2026 model AC. Samsung also has a non-Windfree version at almost 5,000 rupees lower at a similar noise level. If serviceability is a key factor for you, this Samsung AC is the way to go. Samsung has the best service network across even Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities in India. This model is a Wi-Fi AC with bespoke AI technology. Samsung uses machine learning to analyze the room conditions, outside weather and usage patterns to automatically decide cooling modes. This AC also supports one of the highest temperatures of 58 degrees Celsius, that is ambient temperatures. But remember, while it cools well and air throw distance is adequate, it is lower than the other models already recommended. Lastly, if you're on a budget, then the MarQ by Flipkart 2-ton 3-star 2026 model AC is great for you. MarQ ACs are aggressively priced by Flipkart, providing a 1.8-ton real cooling capacity at a price point where most premium brands only offer 1.2 to 1.5-ton models. Even though it is at a budget, it has some of the standard features like 5-in-1 convertible modes, turbo cooling, a high temperature support of 55 degrees Celsius, copper condenser coils and a 4-way swing. But like I highlighted, their after-sales service is handled by the Jeeves network is average at best. The compressor is also louder as it lacks the acoustic installation that is found in premium brands. MarQ does not give an extra warranty on the PCB like most other brands do. Blue Star is generally a hot favorite by many of you, but I don't recommend the 2-ton model for a few reasons. One, the 2026 models have not yet launched. Two, the 2025 models have a much lower cooling capacity at 6100 watts, which is lower than most other ACs, and it is at a higher price than most other comparable ACs. So price to value is low, and therefore I don't recommend it in the 2-ton segment. If you found this video useful, share the video and subscribe to become part of the 2 lakh plus community that trusts us with their decision making. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.